Hi, thanks for joining us this week on Real Estate Insiders. I'm Danny Poulos with the elite lending team at FMB Mortgage, and we've got two great guests this week. First, we're going to be spending time with Mark Green of Short Sale Operations. He's a short sale expert and advisor and has been involved with thousands and thousands of short sales. Then you're going to meet Joe De Silva from the Beacon Construction Group. They're a luxury builder in Palm Beach County, and he's got a lot of experience also with renovations. So stick with us. We'll be back in a moment. Hi, thanks for staying with us with Real Estate Insiders. We're back with Mark Green of Short Sale Operations. Mark is a short sale expert. He's been an advisor on thousands and thousands of short sales. So he's got some really interesting information for us today that you're not used to hearing all the time. Hi, Mark. Thanks for coming in.
Oh, thank you very much, Danny, for having me.
Well, first, you and I were talking about the tax ramifications of short sales because tax time is coming now, and there's people that have had short sales in the last year. They may not know how they can be affected by that, and in some ways a lot of people aren't thinking about. So first off, tell us about the Debt Forgiveness Act and what's going on with that.
Okay, yeah, a lot of people that have completed short sales are concerned about what's going to happen with the tax ramifications when they get the 1099 from the bank for the debt forgiveness that the bank wrote off. First of all, the Mortgage Debt Relief Act was enacted in 2007 by President Bush, and it was extended December 31st of 2012 for one additional year, so it is good through December 31st of 2013. If you are living in your home, if it's your primary residence, if you've lived there more than 18 months, and a couple other small requirements, then you're almost surely going to qualify to have your debt forgiveness tax ramifications written off automatically. So it's a good time if you're going to do a short sale to get started right away because the end of the year comes pretty quickly.
So, I mean, normally people would be used to if you get a 1099, that means that's income you've earned from doing something, and you've got to pay taxes on that. So when someone does a short sale, the amount of debt that's been forgiven, and in some cases can be hundreds of thousands of dollars, I assume. Mm-hmm. If you get a 1099 for that, you would have to pay taxes on that. But if it's your primary residence,
correct,
until the end of this year,
that's right,
you won't have to pay taxes on it.
You won't have to pay any taxes on it as long as you qualify. And there's this couple small qualifications. So see your accountant or tax attorney to see if it applies to you. But most every homeowner that is living in that house is going to qualify for the Mortgage Debt Relief Act.
Well, I know you've also had a lot of experience with people doing short sales on their vacation homes, their second homes, correct, and also on investment properties, which I know has become even more popular now. So they're also going to get a 1099. Are they going to have to pay the taxes on that amount of debt that was forgiven?
Well, that's absolutely correct. Almost everybody that completes a short sale, at least I would say probably 90%, are going to have debt forgiveness. In other words, the bank is going to write off the deficiency. And when they do, they are mandated by the IRS. The bank must send them a 1099. Now, again, if it's a primary residence, then the Mortgage Debt Relief Act is almost surely going to apply. But if it's a second home or it's an investment property, then this does not apply. So what about these folks? You know, a lot of them are concerned. What about tax ramifications? I mean, I'm going to get this 1099. Is it going to be treated as ordinary income? I'm concerned. Well, one thing that you can direct your accountant or tax attorney to take a look at is the IRS Form 982. And this particular form deals with the insolvency clause. Basically, if you're insolvent on the day of the sale, on the day of the short sale, and this includes the collateral being sold. So the deficiency amount for the property being sold is also put into the liability column. So most everybody that qualifies for a short sale is going to probably be insolvent. And so the homeowner for a second home or an investment property, if your accountant or tax attorney is not already aware of the IRS Form 982, you may want to Google it up and make them aware of that, and there may be some tax relief regarding that.
I mean, you made a great point. When you talk about insolvency, I mean, in the simplest definition, it's just that they owe more than what they hold in assets.
Yeah,
so the
that's right.
same thing that would qualify you for being able to use that IRS tax form 982, probably the same criteria you needed to qualify to get a short sale at all. So, right?
Yeah, you know, most people that are doing a short sale, it's because, you know, they have some distress as far as their financial situation. So if you're able to, if there's a $100,000 deficiency being written off and you're able to put that $100,000 into the liability column, you know,
Sure.
how many assets have you got to offset that? And so I believe that this may offer some relief. But, you know, I'll tell you something funny. I was talking to a doctor up in New York. He had a $400,000 write-off. He was going to get a 1099. And he was concerned because he was quite well off, but they were going to write off the $400,000. And he said to me, well, I'm very concerned about the taxes. And you know, I had to say, well, with all due respect, doctor, would you rather owe the whole $400,000 or the tax on the $400,000?
Sure.
So still, the short sale is a benefit, even to those that have to pay the tax.
Absolutely. What's his alternative? Would have been to let it go to foreclosure and have a $400,000 judgment?
And then they would have probably almost surely pursued him for the full balance.
Absolutely. Something else I've been hearing about in the news a lot lately, and I'm sure it affects you and your business, is this boomerang buyers. And a lot of people haven't heard the term yet, but you're going to be hearing it a lot. It's for people who have gone through short sales or foreclosures, in some cases even bankruptcy, and that may have happened 2 or 3 years ago, and now they're back in the market as buyers again, and they're a good portion of the market. So how do you advise the people that are coming to you for short sale advice, how they're going to recover from that in the future?
Well, that's a great question because, you know, it's funny, but people that come to us that are interested in doing a short sale, almost always one of their questions is going to be, listen, can I ever buy a house again? You know, what am I blackballed forever, or what are the qualifications? Well, let me tell you that it ranges anywhere from after you've completed a short sale. There are some loans that you can walk into the bank or the mortgage office and you can apply for a new loan the very next day. And it ranges all the way up to 36 months sometimes, where you know, with respect to an FHA loan, 36 months, and they consider you for that as well. So the USDA loan is the one that I believe you can go directly, and if the area is qualified for USDA loans, you could actually buy a house right away. The bottom line is this: is that short sales is a much better alternative. Certainly than foreclosure, where it's going to be many years before you could qualify to buy another property, and even bankruptcy. You know, it may be more favorable to do a short sale. Of course, you want to check with your professionals that you're dealing with to see if that applies to you.
Either way, it's nice to get those people back in the market and back on the roadmap back to home ownership again after what they've been through, right?
I think they have a lot to do with the recovery that we're looking towards.
Absolutely.
You know, there's a lot of people out there. They're good folks. You know, this what happened in the market was dreadful, but you know, things are coming back, and we need those buyers to come back into the market.
Yeah, you know, I want to cover something else that you were telling me earlier about the changes in the seller initiatives, about people getting cash.
Oh, the incentives.
For getting cash for doing their short sales. Why don't you give us an update on that?
Oh, sure. Well, first of all, another common question that I get is, gosh, I've heard about people getting some moving money or seller incentive money for completing a short sale. And that is true. There are some programs available. The Home Affordability Foreclosure Act, HAFA, which was the government program, is still available in some regards. Now, some of the banks and some of the types of loans no longer allow that. It expired on December 31st of 2012. Some are extending it through the end of 2013. You know, and if we were looking at a short sale, we would look and see if it qualified for that. Now, the homeowner can receive up to $3,000 of moving money if they complete the HAFA short sale under the government guidelines. They must be living in the property. Another important thing that they have to qualify for is they have to have applied for and been turned down for a loan modification. If you haven't tried to modify your loan, then you may not qualify for the HOFA program. Also, one of the benefits for the HOFA is that all the lenders first, even if there's a second mortgage, must write off the deficiency. So they are still going on in some respects, and of course you want to check with your professional to see if your particular situation applies that way.
And how much was the incentive on the HOFA program? How much
on
money?
the HOFA program, $3,000 to the owner, but you must be living in the property.
Right. Now, and when did that, you said a portion of that expired?
Yeah, I believe Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac were allowing some HOFA short sales to go through, but that no longer is the case. I believe that they have discontinued that at the end of 2012.
And if you were not involved in HOFA, I understand there's still some lenders that are writing some big checks for people to move ahead with the short sale.
Absolutely. And I got to tell you that the two banks that are actually giving moving money or seller incentive money are Chase and Bank of America. Chase has been sending out for the last year and a half letters to homeowners, and it says you may qualify for up to $40,000, I've seen in some of these letters.
Right.
And basically, they just want the homeowner to list the property and short sell it, and they're not kidding around. They follow through. These letters are real, and I've seen many homeowners receive the money. Now, with Bank of America, the co-op programs, which is their nickname, is what they're calling them, and basically in the co-op program, they can receive $25,000 or up to $5,000 in moving money. We don't know exactly what the criteria is for the Bank of America co-op. We put everybody in and see if they qualify, and they let us know if they qualify or not.
So, well, the point is, if you get one of these letters in the mail, it's a good chance that it's real, that it's not a come on or,
absolutely.
or some kind of promotion.
Actually,
I'm sorry.
First one I saw 2 years ago, I thought it was some kind of scam. I couldn't believe it, but upon further investigation, they are real. Absolutely.
Right. So get with a realtor because you need to move fast, get your house listed and sold to be able to get that money. This has been great, Mark. It's a lot of tips you don't hear out there on the street. Tell everybody how they can reach you if they've got more questions and want to take a little advantage of your expertise.
Well, Short Sale Operations is a marketing agency that also gives information to realtors regarding updates on short sales and things. Look us up on Facebook, www.facebook.com/shortsaleops. And, of course, shortsaleops.com, and get the latest information. And if you want to speak with me, I'm always available. And there's information at those locations on how to reach me.
Thanks so much, Mark.